I'm Teresa, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me here today. Today I'm going to create a simple printed background. I've created this nice sort of rainbow effect, but you can use an existing print that you've got if you want to. And then we're just going to sit and spend some time doodling with a selection of pens just to create this beautiful journal page here. Really nice project for when you don't necessarily want to sort of be thinking too much about things, just want to sit down and enjoy a crafty session. I love these sort of doodled projects. I've done similar things with alcohol inks and things like that in the past, but this is a really nice way to use a gel print background. I'm going to clear this out of the way, I'll get set up and I'll show you how it's done. As always, I'll begin with a quick rundown of the items I'm using today. Today I have my 6-inch square plate. This is the Gel Press brand plate. Not too big, not too small, just a nice size. I have a limited time, obviously, to create this project today. Would love to do this on a bigger scale, but I think 6 inches is probably about the limit of my time today. I've got 4 basic paints, red, yellow, blue and green. And we have Primary Cyan, Pyrrole Red, Hansa Yellow Medium and Yellow Green Light. I'm just going to create a sort of a rainbow effect across my plate. I have just some smooth white cardstock, approximately 200 GSM, nothing too special here. And you might notice I have a bit of washi tape on my desk. This will just make it easier for me to sort of try and centralise the print in the middle of the cardstock. I can just line up with that corner. It's quite a nice tip for those of you that struggle sometimes to see where to sort of visualize where your plate is as regards to your paper. For mark making, I literally have a little bit of bubble wrap. The background print itself is a very minor part of what we're doing today, so I don't want anything too fancy, but because we're doing a circular design, I thought maybe the bubble wrap might just enhance that a little bit. I have a brayer. This is just my speedball brayer. And for embellishing the print when we've finished, I have some fine liner pens. I like the Unipin fine line. Just any sort of permanent waterproof ink pen will do. I have a selection of sizes. So I have a 01, 03, 05 and 08 for different line weight. And other than that, I have water in a spray bottle, paper towel for cleaning my plate, and that is about it. So I'm going to begin by getting some paint on my plate, adding a little bit of texture with the bubble wrap and just pulling a basic background print. If you have prints already in your stash that you want to work on, you can do that. I just wanted something quite simple so that you can see the line work that I'm doing today. Most of the prints in my stash tend to have quite a few layers with stencils and bits and pieces like that, so I didn't want anything that was going to be too distracting so that you couldn't really see what I was doing.
Somehow I just never learn.
They're quite happy with that. Didn't want anything too fancy, just wanted some colour down onto my paper. And nice, I've got a little bit of effect there with the bubble wrap, but that's perfectly that's enough. I didn't want anything too busy. So I can clean this plate up, move it out of the way. As soon as that print's dry, which won't be too long, I can begin to start really just doodling my design on top of it. So once your print's dry, or you've chosen your pre-existing print, it's time to just sort of draw some circles and doodle. Now, a lot of people are happy to just doodle freehand. I know some people don't. They find even things that I consider to be really quite simple. I don't know whether people sort of overthink it a little bit. A couple of tips or suggestions. You can buy circle templates, and I have these for a couple of reasons. This one is by the brand Fiskars. They do a lot of scissors, knives, cutting tools, things like that. And this was actually part of their, I believe it was called the Shape Boss system. You could buy a cutter that fitted around these templates to cut out circle shapes. But I've got one of these. They're quite inexpensive, a couple of pounds. You can buy them on Amazon. I like this if I need to draw big circles. I can draw small circles fairly easily, but large circles I do sometimes struggle with. And I've sort of got a couple of these. I've got this one. I've got an oval one as well. So if you wanted to sort of use this to guideline a couple of larger circles, it's a really good thing. If you're after smaller circles, you can get a lot of these. They sort of tend to be more, I think, a mathematical, scientific template, that sort of thing, but with lots of small circles. So, you know, bear that in mind if you wanted a little bit of a helping hand with drawing some sort of circle guidelines to get you going. So for example, I'm going to want one or two larger circles on this finished piece. So I could pop this down and take a pencil and just very lightly with a pencil just run a guideline around. I don't want it too heavy because I'm going to be using my pen, but it's just a basic guideline that it's there now to help me out. And say I wanted another largish one over here. Could just draw something like that. Not sure. Do I want a big one down the bottom? Maybe have a large one going off the edge of the print. So I could just pencil in like that. But I'm quite happy to draw in a lot of smaller ones myself. But as I say, if you need a bit of a helping hand, have a little look online for just search circle templates, and there's quite a few around. But I do recommend that Fiskars one if you're looking for something quite large in size. But now I'm going to sort of draw around these and start adding embellishments, start adding lots of smaller circles, just to sort of enjoy working on this, switch off, you know, and just have a little bit of a relaxation period up here in my craft room.
In the back of the schoolyard, where we used to play hide and seek, you smiled and low, oh my God, and there was no need to speak. internet, but you don't seem to forget about yourself. Wondering how it could go so wrong, but you didn't call for help. But let me tell you about the trees and the seas, how it's all connected. The flowers and the birds and bees, the northern lights, yeah, we're all affected. Watching, pray, pray, pray. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. So here's a reminder to look at life that's pouring into you. And so my friend, let me tell you once again, and you know that it's true. Forget about seeing it or hearing it, in the end you must feel. Forget about all you know, you need to go, it's okay to let go. Just let it go, go, go. Then you're breathing in. You're breathing out. We're breathing in. We're breathing out.
She stands by the window, stares at the morning sun. She hopes for a clear view before the day is done. What can you do when you're head over heels in love? No need to fight, but it's keeping her up all through the night.
long as you want to. I'm going to call it a day there. I really couldn't help myself. As I was doodling, especially on some of the darker areas, I thought I'm going to have to go and get my white gel pen. I love adding highlights with that. So that's the Uniball Signo Broad. It's my favourite white gel pen. And I really just think that that just helps some of the design pop. But so you could continue until your entire print is covered in doodling. You can do less than that. You could leave yourself some space for journaling. But I'm really happy with how this has turned out, and I'm going to leave it at that. Trim it down slightly, I think, and mount it inside a journal today, and call this one done. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this has given you an idea of something that you can do if you don't want a complicated print, or if you've got some prints that you just don't quite know what to do with them, and you've got a bit of time where you want to just sit and just focus your mind on something artistic. This is an ideal project for you. So as always, if you enjoyed it, please leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again soon. But for now, that's all. Bye.